Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't grow anything up here.
Yeah, I don't grow anything up there either.
Oh, you like these? So, I can do the front, and you'll do the back, and you do the front. Alright, so I'm going to show y'all on one leg, I'm going to show you all the European wax legs, or the way that a lot of people have been, you know, doing their waxing. I shaved it for you guys.
Did you?
So you get a little chilly, I stopped doing my stuff. Like, nah.
Please, you got a manner on.
Nah, you can't even see it though.
Lauren was being nice.
What?
Them hairy legs she had. What's your little ankles?
I'll never show you guys my legs. My ankles. If you think that's a lot of hair.
They're little? Yeah. What size you wear? You have small feet.
No, I don't.
Do you? I mean, that's average.
All right. Ooh, I'm so ashy. So on one leg, I'm going to do soft wax. On the other leg, I'm going to do hard wax.
Okay.
Just to show you all the difference. I prefer soft wax. Hard wax does not get everything.
Okay.
All right. And so this will also be a learning experience for you because you'll be able to see how the leg that's waxed with hard wax, how fast it grows compared to the one with soft wax. Okay. All right. So you want to cleanse the leg and prep the skin just like you would do with anything else. I'm just missed her legs once. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
Yeah, so I just put a little bit of antiseptic on her legs. Alright, and I'm also going to dust a little bit of powder. With soft wax, you really have to make sure that you dehydrate the skin in order for the wax to stick on. With hard wax, you want to make sure the skin is moisturized so that it does not absorb all of the moisture from the wax, causing it to be brittle. So I prepped this one with powder, but with this one, I'm just going to put the slightest little drop of oil just to hydrate her legs. Just that little bit. Because if it's too much, then the wax isn't going to stick on. But if it's completely dry, it's going to cause the wax to be very brittle. Okay. So, with the hard wax, you want to make sure that the consistency is real thick. We'll be doing the 90-degree method. So remember I was saying about perking it up to get a good glob. And so I got my nice little glob.
That's perfect.
And this wax, it spreads very thin. So with this one, you kind of don't want to use too much pressure because of how thin it spreads. Now, if I was really on a time crunch, I would let that one leg set and do the other side of her leg. Or I would do this leg. I typically like to do one leg at a time, but I'm going to do this side of the leg. All right. Some people have the connotation that you want to pull it slow, but I think that's the dumbest thing ever. Don't pull nobody's hair off slowly. I think that that's very stupid and painful for your client. Sorry about this one. Let me have you tilt your leg over just a smidge. I think it's a little stuck. Okay.
rubbish. What? Okay.
Okay, so now I'm gonna do one strip here, and then I'm gonna do a cleanup strip.
Mm-hmm.
If I don't have to do anything on her knees, you know, you don't necessarily have to do a strip on her knees, but I'm one of those people. I don't really like when people complain about leaving hair behind. Yeah.
This doesn't hurt at all.
It's easy breezy.
Yeah.
Let's see if the strips hurt
I thought it would hurt less.
The strip wax will definitely hurt a little bit more
That's what I said.
because it's pulling
Oh, yeah.
like skin and hair.
Yeah.
But I see what you're saying about the
Oh, I'm sorry, Lauren.
Okay.
the hard wax and that it pulling it up.
It doesn't get everything. All right, so now when you do your cleanup strips, I'm just going to tilt you over just a little. When you do your cleanup strips, this is where you go in the opposite direction.
Got you.
And I'm one of those people, I don't like my cleanup strips to be dry before I remove them. I like them to still be a little tacky. And try to save the rest of it for you on the other side. So I'm not going to do this right here. That'll be considered the back.
Okay.
All right. Let me have you tilt your leg over regular. All right. That strip I did on the other side pulled everything up quite well. And so I'm not going to say that it's not effective.
It just takes a little bit more time, maybe.
Yeah, I would say it does take a little bit more time. And then also, too, I just believe soft wax is more efficient. Yeah, because, like, there's a few little hairs here that I'm just like, I can't let go.
Makes sense.
Yep, and so far it's taken me 8 minutes to do this. At European Waxing, you only get 15 minutes to
For
do.
for both.
For the whole service.
Fired.
Immediately.
Not immediately.
But do they use strips for their?
They do this.
So then, oh my goodness. So now you have the challenge of her trying to hurry up, and what if it doesn't grab it? And you only give you 15 minutes.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
I'm stressed.
Alright, so now I'm gonna do the knee. Their motto is don't do the back of the knee, which makes sense because the back of the knee does lift, but I feel like it only lifts if you're not doing it properly. All right, so let me have you bend this knee just a little bit. That's good right there. And this time I'm gonna go against the hair, against the grain. These hairs are very, 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 very fine, so it won't do no harm if I go against the grain. For coarser hairs, you really do want to be careful with those going against the grain for initial strips, that is. And I don't know if you can see on this end. Let me have you tilt your knee over just a little. So to grip it, I'm pulling her skin taut right there. Yeah, I'm not really fond of making, or I don't really do good lips with hard wax. So, you know, you could just pull the skin taut, flick it a little, and then, yeah, but they don't really, most people who use hard wax for large areas like this, they typically are very adamant about making a lip. All right, so now on to the soft wax. So this was the hard wax leg. Make sure I got as much as I could. Okay. Sorry. I truly think I have a problem.
No, I have OCD too. I'm the same exact way with anything.
Brow hairs. Oh my gosh.
Or like if something's out of order in my room while I'm doing a client, I literally stop my client just to like put it because he'll like yes, I'm like that about a lot of stuff.
Yeah, if you have like a little bit of wax on you.
I mean, when you're in the car.
So what?
Don't be feeling on your legs when you're in the car.
Don't be feeling it. All right, so now for the soft wax. Soft wax originally was the original model for, oh shoot, making a mess. Soft wax was the original model for speed waxing. So someone would use soft wax and claim that it wouldn't take them as much time. And I could actually see that being a thing because it's thorough, because it grabs everything. And, you know, you can do large areas at a time like how I'm doing. And I'm using a lot of pressure to lay this real thin. I want this to be extremely thin. But the only thing is, it's extremely sticky if you don't, you know. Y'all know what soft wax is like. Y'all use it for brows. Y'all use soft wax for brows? Yeah. So
I want to try hard wax though.
if you could really like get familiar with it, you could be very thorough with hard wax. Like
that's what you can use on the face, right? The hard
you
wax.
can, yeah. So for this one, I don't put oil on the skin for soft wax, but I do put a little bit of oil on my gloves just to ensure that I don't stick.
Gotcha.
And this is where the speed waxing comes in. So I'm about to clear this whole section in literally like 60 seconds. So you want to marry the hair or marry the wax with the strip and just go to town. You want to work your way from the bottom on up or else it will get very sticky. You doing okay?
Yeah, that's cool. So I didn't know this was the same strip.
Well, that's good.
I wouldn't do it for the face.
Right.
Just because wherever, especially for the brows, like if you were to put the strip somewhere where you didn't want hair to come off of, it's going to take it off. Yeah. So, speed waxing.
So this is speed waxing.
Yes. According to like back then. Now speed waxing is just based on time. You could use hard wax or soft wax to quote unquote speed wax. And I really don't have to. The book tells us you can only really go over one area twice. Oh, it says once in the book? What does it say in the book? Did it say once or twice?
I thought it said once in the book.
It probably, I think.
But then on the sheet it said, you know, one of the ones on the homework. It said, I didn't choose that for nothing because it's like twice.
Okay.
Only twice. You get what I'm saying? Okay. So I was a little confused, but in the book it did only say once.
Okay. So typically when I'm using soft wax, I'll only twice is that's it.
Okay. Because if you use too much, want to irritate the skin.
It will take the skin. It'll remove it up.
That was quick though.
Yeah, that was quick.
And it's got a lot of hair off.
And that's what I was like about to say about the going over more than once. You don't usually have to.
Yeah.
Unless you don't put wax there.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to tilt you over just a little bit. Sorry. But yeah, you really apply this real thin. And sometimes I do like to overlap where our lash was at. not reapplying the wax on one area, but because like what I'm doing now, I'm like in a sense kind of making it thicker, and I don't really want that. But like I waxed this part already, but I want to overlap where I left off, just to ensure that I don't miss anything. And I forgot to show you also, I typically like to only use the corner, so that once this part builds up, I could just flip this part and use the other side. The place that I started waxing at, they were very frugal, which is not a bad thing. So we were taught to use both ends of the stick before tossing it. And then we were taught this technique of, sorry about that. We was taught this technique of using the full strip, or getting most use out of the strip before you discard it. Because it would be stupid of me to, like, just that one part I just did. I did flip the strip a little bit, but it would be dumb of me just to have a little patch and get a whole nother strip for that one patch. If I'm, completed the service. If I'm using it for the back of the legs, it's not that big of a deal. But, so yeah, that's both versions. All right, so how do you feel? You feel comfortable enough to do,
Sure.
All right. So I'm going to put a little strip right here so she doesn't continue to get stuck. And then you can just have your client lay on their stomach and, go ahead and go to town. You can go ahead and lay this leg out. And then once you finish with that one, I'll show you how to pretty much like conclude, or I'll show you the way that I usually conclude services, and you're more than welcome to take that and run with it. I have a method of this one little method that I use to get the wax off and kind of like increase the quality of the service. All right, but
I just got it. Oh, did you know that Canva now Canva is now integrated into ChatGPT? Yes, you can go on ChatGPT, click the Canva plugin, and say like, build me a PowerPoint presentation on whatever, and it'll spit you out a whole PowerPoint.
What? What's through the ChatGPT app?
Yes. I'm gonna do some ebooks.
I didn't know that.
some ebooks. Oh my God, with AI.
Yeah.
Jesus
I'm gonna
Christ.
sell them.
All right, so the last thing you want to do is apply some oil, but this has to be your final step, because if you apply oil and then you go, oh, I see a little bit of hair, it's a wrap. Like, it's not gonna stick onto the hair. So for this one, you can use a good amount of oil, and I'm gonna do one leg and then I'll let you do the other leg. So I'll let you do this one last because it got that right there.
And how do I get that up with just oil, right?
Yeah, with this one, you could just use some oil.
Okay.
So you especially want to do this when your client got soft wax on their legs. But you're just pretty much giving them a little massage. To the client, it's a little massage.
But you're really like trying to clean up.
Yes. Yeah. And for you, it's like getting the residue, all that good stuff off. So take your time out and make it actually feel like a massage. But this is where the trick comes in. So when using soft wax, you can take a strip and just kind of buff it back and forth to remove the oil, but also like anywhere where wax did not come up with just applying the oil. And if it's really stubborn, you can go in and just kind of wipe it off.
And you said the hard wax, was that the one? No, the soft wax is the one you did the powder with. The hard wax was the one that you did the oil.
Yes, just the tiniest drop.
Yeah, the oil, yeah.
Yeah, I did use oil just a little bit. All right. And so to them, it felt like a massage oil. Let me actually ask the client, did it feel like I was cleaning you up, or did it feel like it was more on the massage part?
No, it felt like massage.
Cool. And then also, like you said, it's another way of getting some tips in as well. All right, so I'm gonna move mine so you could actually put yours on and, you know, get you some content. But yeah, massage the leg with some oil, a great deal of oil, and then go back in with one of these little strips just to buff it off.
I have a question. So you remember last time we did when we did the underarms, and that was hard wax. We did the powder. So what's the difference between doing the powder up there, but doing on the legs, doing the oil?
So powder up there, because that's the area that perspirates. Yeah, you gotta dust the powder, and there's a lot more hair too. So you dust a little bit of powder. Like, you don't want to like flour it up like chicken, but you just want to, you know, just dust to absorb oil and the perspiration.
Okay.
Does that make some sense?
Yes, it does.